Hello my little recusants and welcome back to another episode of our Final Fantasy II 100% guide. We've just finished all the collecting in Castle Palamecia and we're here to confront Adamance. I expected you to come, recusant. Do you really think you can kill me? Stop, both of you! Why do you insist on fighting, Adamance? Weak words for the weak. Do you know what rules this world? Power. Sheer power. The Imperial throne is mine. The weak cannot survive without the strong to control them. How many lives did the rebels throw away when they chose to oppose the Empire? Delusions of grandeur do not become you, Adamance. Though I find the thought of you as Emperor quite deliciously absurd, it ends now. This world can have but one Emperor, and I am he. You're alive. What are you? Not that it matters, the Empire is mine now. I have no intention of handing it over. The Empire? I have no need for such trifles now. All the world shall fall by my hand, and the powers I have gained in hell. And your blood will be the first to spill. Call the Wyvern, you can use it to escape. Ricard, what are you about to do? You may have little trouble spilling the blood of Rickard Highwind, last of the Dragoons. Pathetic insect. I will enjoy making you rue those worlds. May the spirit of the Dragoons lend me their strength. Rickard, no! Recusant, what's happened? You're the Dark Knight. You'd best start explaining. The Emperor has risen from hell. Rickard died so we could escape. Joseph, Minu, Sid, Ricard, all dead. I don't know how much more of this I can take. As long as the Emperor lives, more will die. Adamance. Princess. Let Adamance join us, please. The Dark Knight? A rebel? I leave that decision to you. Adamance, let's fight the Emperor together, please. Tainted. Recusant. Alright. So guys, we have finally gotten Adamance in the party. And we got an achievement for finally getting a full party of 4 back together. I know last episode I jumped the gun, but Hilda basically lets us know about the Jade Passage as a way into Hell. And once we learn the Jade Passage and its location, we have learnt officially every single... we've now gotten every single password. So once we leave the conversation, we get Memory Lane for memorizing every keyword. Absolutely brilliant. But yeah, basically Adamance I originally had in like my mind's eye of like he can have all the debuff spells like stun, sleep, all that jazz. But we're kind of so far into the end game now. And the camera's just panning over to show us how to access that new area of the Jade Passage. But there's going to be some last minute fiend hunting that we're going to need to do. I say fiend, like that's Final Fantasy X wording, but like monster hunting for the bestiary. We're going to go first over to the Palamecia Desert again. There are 2 enemies that we need to farm there. And what's quite handy and lucky for us is that we end up getting these 2 encounters literally one after the other, which is brilliant. But what we're going to be using Adamance for now is that he's actually quite strong with blades, and we're going to be collecting one of the best swords in the game in general in the next couple of minutes, getting us another trophy. But what's great is that we get the Scissor Jaw, these kind of upgraded antlions. That's one of the reasons why we had to collect the antlion from the desert originally before we finished the Mystian Desert, or the Mystian Tower. Mysidian Tower, I can't even remember. Oh my god, geography. Nightmare. But the bottom line is that Adamance is actually really, really quick at leveling with swords. And it's actually Adamance who's going to be getting us to level 16 in weaponry. Because basically I was finding that he was actually leveling a lot quicker because he was using 2 attacks with swords that were actually doing damage, unlike Layla. You know? It's a bit crazy. But DJ is still doing great work. Like, he is hitting for tons of damage. Like, let's not sleep on DJ. He is our one-hit wonder. Always has been, always will be. And just as something a little fun, because we're getting really close to the end, guys. If you could give every one of the heroes the honorific, or like an honorific, what would you give them? So like, you know, Doppelganger, the one-hit wonder, Recusant, the Holy Spitfire or something. I don't know. I'm just coming up with names, but I'd really love to hear your guys' takes on some nicknames or some honorifics or some like wrestling titles or whatever. What we're going to do is, and I feel really bad that we never actually brought Ricard here to see his wife and kid before we unceremoniously had him killed. The game acts as if we visited them, so it's interesting. But basically, it's like Ricard's gone, he was a noble dragoon. I'm pleased that he could die in the name of honor. And then we can ask her about the dragoons, that's why it's in red. And then she says that she's going to leave Dice behind and find somewhere new to live, but she's going to gift us one of the rarest treasures of the dragoons. And they want to thank me for saving the egg and for giving me the chance to see Ricard one last time. We didn't kind of do that, I feel really bad. But since Ricard is gone, we should be the ones to wield this, and we end up with Excalibur. And we're going to be immediately equipping Excalibur to Adamance, getting us the Sword of Myth achievement. But what's fascinating here is, and I only noticed this later on, but our characters have favoured hands for weapons. So I kind of put Excalibur in his offhand, which probably isn't the right way to do it. But I fix it later on, guys, don't worry. But, yeah, we're literally getting, like, achievement. We've gotten one for, like, story progression. We've gotten one for the passwords. We've gotten one for getting Excalibur. And really, all we've left to do now is collect more monsters. So we're going to just skedaddle across the world map here really, really quickly. We're going to land near the Jade Passage. We're not actually going to go into it yet because we are hunting down some more enemies here, remembering to turn on encounters like a silly goose. And like that, Adamance is getting some more HP, getting some more stamina. We love that for him. He joins so late though, guys. Like I know I've grinded so much, but here we are, the Mantis King. But like, look at the difference in our stats and abilities. It is absolutely crazy. But at the same time, you know, Recusant's doing really good damage with Holy. Tainted is absolutely slaying with Ultima. And like, Adamance is holding his own. He has the 2 of the best swords in the game. 1/2/, you know, completely destroying the enemies here. which is pretty good, you know? Because I remember when I equipped DJ with swords and he was only like level 1, he was doing like little to no damage and it was crazy. But here we have another enemy for the bestiary. We have some pit fiends. Always happy to get some more enemies into the bestiary that we're not hunting for them later. Once again, we're nearing level 9, and like this is level 9 was where DJ kind of got stuck with his, you know, fist fighting. He was never really able to like build on from there, which is a bit of a shame. But we only have 20 more enemies to find now. This is literally where it's crazy. And we still have 2 more zones. We have the Jade Passage, which will have a good few enemies and whatnot. And then we also have like the Realm of Hell itself. Pandemonium. So, you know, you might say, oh my god, there's 20, but I think there's literally like 6 and like it's not like a straight 10 and 10 split. But descending into the depths of the Jade Passage now, we're just gonna leave encounters on for a little while. We're after getting salamanders, so that's another one added now. We had our ice lizards, our salamanders, and look at that, like 777 for Tainted, absolutely slay queen. Let's just keep on getting our spells done so we can continue to level up. We now have blue flubber. They're absolutely disgusting. Like I find that if we had like a Final Fantasy VII remake, but like for these games, these monsters and stuff would be absolutely terrifying. In like 3D live action kind of space. Like I'm imagining them just like shooting lasers from their eyes or something as a kind of like dodge mechanic minigame until you get up close and like beat them up and stuff. Could be pretty cool. But yeah, just explore the upper north quadrant then, and that's where we get the next treasure chest. But again, I'm just there like, I want to get my spells leveled up, I want Adamance to get some HP levels, so getting in encounters is just really useful. Now, we do have the Abyss Worm and then the Great Malboro as additional encounters, I believe. So, just take them out with Holy and Ultima, like there's nothing here that's going to ever kill us. We literally have like so much MP. But what is interesting is I do end up running low on MP. On a hunt for a particularly rare fiend. I think I mentioned it in previous episodes, the Iron Giant. Yeah, it was a pain in the butt to get, and it was even to the point where I actually taught Recusant the Osmo spell so that he'd be able to actually drain MP and actually keep being able to heal outside of battle, just because his cure spell ended up costing more and more and more as time went on. Obviously, but it being max level, it was the most costly spell he was ever using. So yeah, I decided just to teach him Osmos. Like, technically Tainted learned Ultima, which is colored a white magic spell, and so I figured I'll let Recusant learn Osmos, which is technically a black magic spell, but it's basically like MP regen, you know. But yeah, we got Hellfire, we got White Dragons, we got all sorts of carry-on here now in the Jade Passage. And as I say, Adamance, you know, brother, your HP is... it's fragile. You're in a little fragile state. But my aim is to hopefully let Adamance take some time to get some, like, good hits in and level up his swordplay that bit more. Oh, the damage is crazy. And it's very, very clear that these dragons are resistant to physical attacks, so magic is unfortunately the way to go. And it took me a little while to realise, but are we getting no gil because of certain monsters, or are we getting no gil because we've reached the cap of gil? And then I was like, no, it's actually just some monsters give us no gil. And that to me is insane. Especially like Dungeons and Dragons lore, dragons always hoard money. So like how on earth a dragon is not giving us tons of gil is absolutely crazy to me. And as I say, we're just trying our best to get along. And here we have a blue dragon now. So hopefully our magic abilities being neutral will just lead us to victory fairly soon. Blue dragon shooting electricity. Feel like we're in D&D. Very, very hardcore. We got some cat claw ninja daggers. Very, very nice. I often feel bad for, like, you know, particularly like Vaughn in Final Fantasy 12 and stuff, when like you have a character specializing in daggers, but yet you have like the great sword Excalibur, and you're like, that just sounds cooler. That just sounds cooler to like what I'm wielding. You know, you could technically have like the best, you know, the best dagger in the game, like Silent Whisper, and it's like, oh yeah, like what weapon are you wielding? It's like, oh, I wield like the Silent Whisper. And you're like, oh, Deddy. It's like, what are you wielding? Oh, I'm wielding the legendary greatsword Excalibur. It's like, Excalibur just wins. You know what I mean? Like, Excalibur just feels like it wins, you know? And by God, the salamanders are hopping in this area. And basically, we have to kind of go down the way to go across the way. That's kind of the vibe of the waterfalls here at the minute. And as I say, going through the water hurts. We get some Chimera Sphinxes, so they do all sorts of different elemental attacks, but they seem to be very on the, you know, fire at the moment. Dispelling when I have no buffs on seems strange. Seems like an unusual move, you know? But once again, Tainted blasting with Ultima's magic, and then Adamance being able to be like the sibling that's like following up, destroying and carving down these creatures is pretty freaking slick to me. Adamance now at like level 10 swordplay, so we can see his strength going from like strength to strength, no pun intended, but like, you know, he's getting stronger and stronger each rank up he gets of swordplay, which is obviously really, really good. Now, a bit of a tight cut there, but I basically just like dropped the one random encounter, and then when I ran up to open the chest, we end up straight into a massive fight with a king behemoth. Absolutely sick design. I absolutely love the like gold fur, the giant like horns and stuff. It's like really, really deadly in my mind. And fun fact, because we end up finding these deeper in hell, like when we go into Pandemonium, hell itself, the next and final dungeon, these are like a common enemy that you just fight regularly. And then, like, because I was hunting for the Iron Giant so much and just stuck grinding these different enemies again and again and again, what I ended up putting on was just Recusant on like an AoE teleport and Tainted on an AoE death spell. And what I learned was, oh, the King Behemoth can just be killed with death, which just is really freaking funny to me. That we're like beating him up and like casting Ultima and stuff, where it's just like, oh no, just death. Just death works, actually. But once again, Tainted didn't need death. She had death by Ultima magic, and that's just a horrible way to go. Ba 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 ba. Once again, collecting more treasure chests, always really good. And we have another dragon, like, oh my god. When I said we had like 20 enemies left, we've had like at least 5 being these different freaking dragons. So once again, guys, we're just continuing to spam Holy, spam Ultima. Like, the damage is significant. And look at the Ultima level 10. It looks so cool. Cool? I got caught between class and cool. I'm very, very sorry. Holy magic, rain your light. And yeah, Tainted is just doing the damage calc of like, whatever she hits with an Ultima, mightn't be the first time, but it's definitely not surviving the second or third time. We're after getting an awesome bow within the Jade Passage. Too bad nobody used bows since Tainted in like episode 1. When we were like, oh my god, it causes magic interference, drop that Tainted, you are a black mage. But yeah, a lot of this area now is literally just zooming along, collecting the treasure chests, and just making it to the final dungeon. But just... So, literally, my question really is... Yeah, like, look at this. Protect rings, absolutely amazing. And, like, the evasion 99%, accuracy 99%, it's freaking class. Like, our characters are just stacked right now. But, to be honest, what is going to be a useful little strat for us going forward, guys, is just the lovely spell Teleport. We can literally teleport from here and then make it back to Flynn and have a little in rest. We're after getting all trophies ready to go. And all treasures, I should say. They're all finished with. But basically, yeah, I want to basically hop back and finish out and refresh our party with all their HP and MP, and then I can just turn off encounters and run straight back to this area, fully refreshed, fully restored, ready to take on the final dungeon, you know? Mega Parasites were another new enemy for the Beastry, so that's obviously brilliant. Again, the ice lizards we found earlier, but it's nice to know that they can be found here as well. That's literally not too bad. And, oh my god, encounters, stop, please. Not like this. And then this is where I'm like, oh, we're kind of running really low on magic, so I teach recusing the Osmose Tome, and I would look for another one, being brutally honest. I'm sure in Mysidia there might be one or something. And if I did use the only one there, maybe it would have been better to have it on Tainted. But again, a nice little variety pack. But we're going to just hop through this teleporter, and then we're going to end up in the last area of the game. And if you've been to absolutely everywhere, like I kind of told you and highlighted you to where you need to go, with certain vanishing places like the encampment, like the Chocobo Forest, you should get the Adventurous Wayfarer trophy for being in every single zone, every single area of the game. And now that we've reached Pandemonium, I was like, no, I'm just gonna teleport out, go back to Flynn, heal up, and then return to the Jade Passage. And basically, guys, next episode, I don't believe there's anything majorly important that happens between us coming back from Flynn and making it back to Pandemonium. But basically we're going to be storming Pandemonium, collecting as much of the final treasures, of the final bestiary entries, and more than likely finishing, if not next episode, finishing the entire game. The last boss fight was a bit long, in fairness, so I don't know if I'm going to make that a 40-minute episode. I'll have to sit and see what it looks like on the cutting room floor, how this all pans out. But I'm excited to see what our next either final episode or penultimate episode will be. But I have been the RPG Recusant. Thank you so much for your continued support of the series, and I hope you have a continued wonderful rest of your morning, afternoon or evening, depending on when you decided to sit and watch this today. Please leave a like and a comment. Share with anybody that you think might be interested in experiencing these old retro games. And until I see you next time, I hope you have a good one. Thanks again. Bye bye.